Graders, today we will be doing our passage for May the 13th. It's Wednesday, and the topic of our passage today is the little brother. So if you don't have that out, please get that and we'll get started. Good to see you again. Okay, so the title is The Little Brother. We're going to read through the passage, and the directions at the top says, read the passage below, then answer the questions. That's what we're going to do. Ethan is the youngest in his family. He has two older brothers. Sometimes his brothers treated him like a baby. They wouldn't let him ride bikes with them. They wouldn't let him go to the park with them. They wouldn't let him go skateboarding with them. You are too young, they said. You might get hurt or lost. One day, Ethan was walking home from school. He saw a girl riding her bike without a helmet. She fell off her bike and hit her head. She also scraped her knee and cut her elbow. She was hurt and started crying. I will get you some help, Ethan told her. Ethan ran to his house. He told his mom that a girl was hurt. His mom came and helped the girl. Ethan's mom gave the girl ice for her head and some bandages for her cut. She then called her mom. The girl and her mom were very grateful. Ethan's brother saw how he had helped the girl. You are not too little anymore, Ethan, they said. Then they took him to the park. All right, so now we're going to use the information from the passage, and we are going to answer some questions. Let's start here with the first question that says, what is the passage mostly about? So let's think about it. We read a story called The Little Brother. The main character's name was Ethan. And this passage was mostly about Ethan's brothers saying that he was too young, too little, and not grown up. So I would say the passage is mostly about a boy named Ethan who showed his family that he was grown up. So I'm going to write a complete sentence. We always start a complete sentence with a capital letter. And we're going to use some words from the sentence to answer a question in a complete sentence. So I'm going to say this passage if I don't know how to spell it, I go up to the question. This passage is mostly about Ethan, who we said was the main character. This passage is mostly about Ethan showing his family that he is grown up. Or we could say not a baby or not too little anymore. Okay, so the answer to that question was, this passage is mostly about Ethan showing his family that he is grown up. Or you could say this passage is mostly about Ethan showing his family that he is not little anymore. Our answers don't always have to be the exact same. All right, now we're going down to the next one here. And it says, name one way Ethan's brother treated him like a baby. So Mrs. Smell's going to take my red marker here. If we go up to the first paragraph, the brothers did a couple things that showed that there was a few ways the big brothers treated him like a baby. They said sometimes they wouldn't let him ride bikes with them. So I'm going to underline, they wouldn't let him ride bikes with them. That was one way they treated him like a baby. Another way is they wouldn't let him go to the park with them. So I'll underline this sentence. You might choose this one for your answer. They wouldn't go to the park with them. Next, they wouldn't let him go skateboarding with them. So I'm going to underline, they wouldn't let him go skateboarding with them. And why did they do this? They said, you are too young. You might get hurt. So down in this box, you can choose one of those three things that Ethan's brothers did to show that they treated him like a baby. So I could say, Ethan's brothers and these are words in the question that you can look above to spell it correctly, said he couldn't go to the park. Or you could have said they wouldn't let him go skateboarding with them, or you might have used they wouldn't let him ride bikes. So Mrs. Smale just noticed when I wrote that sentence, I changed my contraction from what was in the first paragraph. If you remember learning about contractions, the author used the contraction wouldn't 3 times in this paragraph. They wouldn't let him ride bikes. They wouldn't let him go to the park. They wouldn't let him go skateboarding. So if you remember a contraction, and I'll put a box around this one here, wouldn't is a contraction with an apostrophe in it, and there's a missing letter if we separated the contraction into 2 words. And does anybody remember what it would be? Good job. Would not. So you can say wouldn't or would not. So Mrs. Smale changed it though in her answer. I didn't say wouldn't. I used a different contraction. I used the contraction couldn't. Do you know what 2 words would make up Mrs. Smale's contraction for couldn't? Good job. Could not. Great job, boys and girls. All right, now we're going to the second answer. Where does the girl get hurt? So we're going to go up to the second paragraph here again. And it says, Ethan was walking home from his school. He saw a girl riding her bike without a helmet. She fell off her bike and hit her head. So let's look at our choices. Where does the girl get hurt? At school, on a street, in Ethan's backyard, or at her house? Well, we just saw that he was walking home from school when he saw the girl, so Ethan must have been on a street because he was walking home from school. He was not at school anymore. He was walking home. I would say that a better answer might have been on a sidewalk because it's not safe to walk on the street. But that isn't one of our choices. So we're going to go with on a street where Ethan was walking home from school. Next one. Oh, Mrs. Smale went out of order. Okay. Next one, number 2. Ethan shows that he can. So at the end of the story, what did Ethan show his family he can do? Did he show his family he can get help? Did he show his family he can use the phone? Did he show his family he could ride a bike or start crying? So Mrs. Smale is going to go to the next paragraph that Ethan ran to his house. He told his mom that a girl was hurt. His mom got some bandages for her cut. She then called her mom. The girl and her mom were very grateful. So what Ethan did was he got the girl some help. So your answer here would be A, Ethan and his mother got the girl some help. Let's move on to the last question, number 4, and I'll get my green marker. What is the most important detail in the last paragraph? So I'll read my choices, then we'll read the last paragraph again and decide. The most important detail in the last paragraph, was it A, Ethan's brothers say he isn't too little? B, Ethan runs to his house? C, Ethan sees a girl riding her bike? Or D, Ethan's brothers won't play with him? So now we're going to the last paragraph. This was the first, second, third, and the last paragraph. It starts with an indent, so we know it's a new paragraph. Ethan's brothers saw how he had helped the girl. You are not too little anymore, Ethan, they said. Then they took him to the park. So we have to find something that was the main idea of this last paragraph here. Let's see what it would be. In the last paragraph, did Ethan's brothers say he isn't too little? I would say yes. Did Ethan run to his house? Nope, that didn't happen in the last paragraph. Did Ethan see a girl riding her bike? That was not in the last paragraph either. Did Ethan's brother won't play with him? Nope, I think in the last paragraph they said they would take him to the park because he is not too little anymore. So the best choice for the most important detail in the last paragraph, when we went back and checked it, was A, that Ethan's brothers say he isn't too little anymore. I would say Ethan was probably a happy boy at the end of the story. He really showed his family that he was not little anymore and that he had grown up. All right, friends, that's the end of our reading lesson for today. I will be back with you again tomorrow, and we will look at our next passage. Have a good day. If you get a chance, get on your A to Z and read to your teacher. And Mrs. O'Connor has the math lesson up for everyone to watch too. Thank you.